and I'm going offense, I'm recruiting offense.
Oh, yeah.
I've made that mistake.
Yeah.
I will not make it. You know, I'm recruiting offensive players that are tough, that will be willing to defend for you, but I'm no longer going off defensive, hard-playing guys that we're going to have to try to teach them to play great offense. I think that's...
No, that's an impossible teach. I've tried it. You know, if you got enough guys that are going to score 1,000 points, you're going to win a lot of games. I don't care how good they are defensively.
Defense wins championships. One of the most famous quotes in the history of sports, and it's much more than just a quote. It's a philosophy. For decades, coaches, general managers, and those in charge of roster construction have prioritized defense slightly more than offense. Because when the game slows down and the possessions tighten up, the ability to stop a team from scoring is a little more valuable than the ability to score. And defense can also lead to offense. In the lens of football, a pick six or a fumble can flip the field position and change the outcome of a game. And if we look at it from a basketball perspective, transition is the easiest time to score. The best ways to get out in transition are off a turnover and off a missed shot. So the ability to force turnovers and force missed shots can help generate offense while simultaneously stopping the other team from putting anything up on the board. But something different is happening. There's a shift going on in the college basketball world as offenses are getting better and better and better. And not just in the raw points per game, but in the efficiency. Since the 2020 season, where the NCAA pushed the three-point line back by over an inch, the efficiency has skyrocketed year by year. And the talent that we're seeing is unlike we've ever seen before. We're seeing 7-footers that can shoot the ball from absolutely anywhere, guards that can also shoot the ball from anywhere and see the play 4 steps ahead, and we have athletes, freakishly athletic athletes that can dominate the interior with just their physical skill set. But the cherry on top is the coaches. The play calling is not only getting better, but more innovative with concepts that we've never seen put together, and they're constantly evolving day after day after day. So in this video, we're going to take a look at some sequences and counters from the same looks that are making offenses so impossible to stop in this modern era of college basketball. San Diego State is running a Spain pick and roll, which is one of the most, if not the most popular play in modern day basketball. You have a first screen from a big man and then a back screen from the shooter. And the reason it makes it so hard is because this guy has to make a decision. On the first play, he runs out to the 3, allowing for a wide open dunk. San Diego State is running the exact same play, and because last time they allowed a wide open dunk, now this player is staying there just a bit longer, allowing for the 3 to get wide open, and the lead is cut to 2. But Utah State responded with their own counter. It starts with a dribble handoff, and then after this guard comes up, the big that initiated the dribble handoff is going to set a pin down for the shooter. San Diego State is late on the closeout, and Utah State buries a wide open 3. The very next possession, Utah State runs the same exact play. It starts with the brush screen, then the dribble handoff, and on the pin down screen, both Aztec players run out because they don't want to give up the same wide open 3. So now the slip is wide open, forcing the low man to step up with a great backdoor cut, and Utah State gets a lob out of the counter to the first action. To start the second half, UConn ran a designated floppy action for their best shooter, Braylon Mullins. What's going to happen is Solo Ball is going to come off a first screen, set the screen, and then Alex Caravan is going to set a screen. But Alex Caravan slips for a wide open layup. But the reason that they were quick to fly out to Mullins is because earlier in the game, Caravan sets a little go screen for Mullins. He comes off, gets the switch against the big man, and hits a super tough shot because he's one of the best shot makers in the country. So just that pure threat of Mullins getting the ball and getting an open look is enough to get Caravan a wide open layup. But St. John's had their own sequences that put UConn in a really rough spot. Zuby Ejiofor runs a dribble handoff, and Terrace Reed is hedging the screen. Ian Jackson lifts from the corner on the weak side, and Silas Demery is too worried about him to tag Zuby, and he gets a wide open dunk. So a minute later, when Dylan Darling comes off a screen, Terrace Reed again hedges, but he turns his back to find Zuby right away because he doesn't want to give up another dunk. So Dylan Darling walks to the rim and gets a wide open layup. And just like the great coaches, great players have counters to their individual moves that make them so impossible to guard. The first possession, Caleb Wilson has the ball in his spot, and Malik Brown doesn't contest the shot enough, so he rises up over him. Malik Brown doesn't want to get burned with the same move twice in a row, so this time when Caleb Wilson pump fakes, Malik Brown bites, and Wilson can step through and get a layup. Wilson's back on that block for a third possession in a row. Malik Brown's expecting him to turn high and slow, as that's what happened last possession, but now Wilson goes quick, catches Brown off guard, and is able to step through again and draw a foul. Fourth possession in a row. Cam Boozer just saw Malik Brown get burned twice with the spin to the step through, so he stays disciplined and doesn't jump, so Caleb Wilson can shoot right over him, and that's 4 buckets in 4 possessions. Now we're going to get into the real wizardry, the stuff that makes opposing coaches feel absolutely helpless and at the mercy of the offense. Iowa is running chin action out of a horn set. Horn set is this alignment with the 2 bigs lifted, and chin action is when the ball goes to the high post and we have a back screen for Bennett Sturts. The first possession, both Oregon players are worried about Sturts, so the screener is able to roll to the rim and get a wide open layup. And Coach Ben McCullum is insane. If you can't stop an action, he's going to run it again. And that's what happens. And this time, you could see the Oregon defender hugging the screener because he doesn't want to get burned again. So this time, Sturts is wide open on the backdoor lob. Oregon still can't figure out how to stop it, so later in the game, Iowa runs it again. Oregon doesn't want to give up that backdoor lob to Sturts again, so help comes from the corner, leaving a shooter wide open, but he can't knock down the wide open look. That was the exact look that Iowa wanted, so they run the play again. This time, Sturts is the screener. When the initial screen isn't open, he acts like he's coming for a dribble handoff, but he goes backdoor. And that's 4 times in a game that Coach McCullum got exactly what he wanted with the same action but different counters as to what the defense was doing. Michigan was getting dominated by Northwestern until they found a play out of the horn set that Northwestern couldn't stop. And it's almost identical to what Iowa ran. It starts with the ball entering the high post, then we have that chin screen. This time, the Northwestern player helps to not allow LJ Kaysen to get backdoor, but that leaves the shooter wide open, and Trey McKinney knocks it down. A couple possessions later, Michigan runs the exact same thing, and the corner help doesn't want to come because he doesn't want to give up that same 3. So LJ Kaysen is wide open on the backdoor cut. Michigan's running that play for a third time, but this time LJ Kaysen setting the screen for Yaxel Lendeborg. Northwestern does a great job guarding this until Michigan flows into the next action, which is a dribble handoff, and they hit another 3. You see the graphic, Michigan's made 6 in a row, so they run that same play again, with LJ Kaysen setting the back screen. This time there's miscommunication, and Yax is able to get free, and Michigan finally has the lead. But my favorite part of sequencing came in the national championship last year because it was what Florida did out of the horn set that was able to propel them to victory against Houston. The first play is as simple as it can get. Walter Clayton enters the ball to Thomas Houck, who uses his body as a screen for Clayton, who's able to roll and get an and one. The next time Florida runs it, Clayton fakes to use the screen, which gets Sharp a step behind and he falls down. So corner help has to come, Denzel Aberdeen catches it, gets to the rim, and ties the game. And my favorite play of the 3 is when Walter Clayton enters the ball, him and Alex Condon go to set a double screen for Will Richard, but it flips and turns into a double pin down for Walter Clayton, and he gets a wide open 3 to tie the game. And then if we go back to the 2023 and 2024 tournament runs, no one had a chance to stop UConn because their offense was ridiculously efficient, and if you took away one thing, they had 5 more things to throw at you. And because offenses are only getting better and more efficient each year, that begs the question, does defense still win championships in the sport of college basketball? Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I love all of y'all, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.